Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be painting this human fighter for my next Dungeons and Dragons character. If you have any name ideas, pop them in the comment section down below. The equipment that I'm using today are some Citadel paints, and I'm also using a size 1 brush for the details and also a size 5 brush as well for the more bigger parts of this figure. I will also be using some water and also some kitchen paper or kitchen towel to wipe off any excess paints on my brush, and also to dry my brushes as well in between the paint coats. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel to see more geek related content. So let's get into the video. Okay, so what I've done with my figure is I have put some white tack on the, you can use blue tack as well, on the bottom of my figure and popped it on another paint that I've got for a little stand, so I don't get so I can get to the more finer details without worrying about touching other parts of the paint and rubbing the paint off and that kind of thing. So let's start painting. Okay, so I like to start with the more, the finer detail-y bits first, the things that I find more difficult, but halfway through painting I do tend to change my mind and just paint anything that looks easy-ish to paint to start with. But for the, to start off with this, I'm going to start with the hair, because to me that looks a bit more difficult to paint, because it's also covering part of the, I'll use the paintbrush to point so you can see, part of the cape and also the quiver for the arrows as well. So I've decided that my character is going to have fire dragon bright coloured hair. So I'm just going to give this paint a shake because it's a new paint, and I'm going to try and open it without getting it everywhere. There we go. I'm just going to open it up. There we are. And what I like to do with my paints when I start painting is I tend to go off the paint in the lid. So I'm just going to give my brush a clean first and get any paint off that's already been on there, and then give it a wipe on the kitchen towel, and then I'm going to begin painting. So I just had to trim the brush a tiny bit because there was a bit of loose bits on the brush and I didn't want that to affect the painting at all. So I'm just going to bob a tiny bit on the end of my brush and then begin painting. Go check out my first Dungeons and Dragons painting video, which was of an elf. I'll pop the link in the description down below. I like to do small coats and also little and often as well, because if you go in with really thick paint to start with, you'll start to lose all the detail in the figure. And these figures are also already primed, so you don't have to worry about doing that section as well, which is really good. That takes washing the figure down and priming takes up a bit of time, so if you want to just get straight on into the painting part of the process, these are really good figures to buy. I'll pop a link in the description down below to where I got mine from, but you can get them from off the internet or speak to your local gaming shop as well, because they might know where to get the figures from. You can also order online from Tritex as well. And if I go really quiet during the video, I do apologise. It's the way I concentrate. Pop a comment in the comment section down below on what figure you would like me to paint next. I like to set myself a challenge. a bit wobbly. Stick it down a bit more. It's just got this bit at the front as well, like a little plait. I think I need to get a thinner brush. If anywhere needs another coat a bit later on, I'll do that later on, because I don't want to cover any of the details in the hair. So I'm just going in really, really thin coats at the moment. You can always add on layers and not take off, without taking off a lot of the paint. Looks like she's got some like bobbles in her hair, so I'm just going to go over them in the orange colour first, and then a bit later on, once the orange is dried, I'll go over it in a brown or a black colour. Just so we can get a bit of definition in the hair.